Okay, for a second, let's forget the bright lights and catchy hooks of K-pop. We're gonna dive into something, well, something darker, more powerful, and way more mythic that's quietly taking over the world. East Asian dark fantasy.
And look, this isn't just some passing fad. We're talking about a massive shift in storytelling. It's captivating millions with these incredible tales of mythology, magic, and drama that feel both ancient and somehow totally new.
I mean, you get these mind-bending genre mashups. Take the Korean drama kingdom. It takes super detailed historical court drama and slams it headfirst into a terrifying zombie plague. And let me tell you, that combination, it was absolutely electric.
Or you go to the other end of the spectrum with these sprawling Chinese epics like the Untamed. Here, the heroes aren't just fighting monsters. They're wrestling with the very idea of good versus evil, of loyalty and chasing immortality by tapping into this forbidden, dark form of power.
So yeah, this is way more than just a couple of hit shows. This is a whole new cultural wave, and it's powerful in its own right. The numbers behind it, they're just staggering.
Just let that sink in for a second. 9.8 billion. That's how many views the Untamed got on just one streaming platform in China. So yeah, this isn't some niche little thing. This is a global entertainment juggernaut.
A number like that really makes you wonder, right? What is this genre that's at the heart of this explosion? Well, to really get it, you need to know one key term: Xianxia.
Okay, to understand this boom, you have to get the difference between Xianxia and its older sibling, Wuxia. As you can see here, Wuxia is all about martial arts heroes, usually from humble beginnings, in a pretty realistic world. But Xianxia, it cranks everything up to 11. It's high fantasy, the action is magical, the characters are nobles or even literal gods, and the whole vibe shifts from gritty loyalty to epic romance and the quest to become immortal.
And the engine that drives all these stories is this concept called cultivation. Think of it as the magic system and the character progression all rolled into one. Through insane training and mystical practices, characters literally level up their spiritual power. And what's the ultimate goal? To become a godlike, immortal being.
So we know what it is, but what's the secret sauce? Let's break down the anatomy of these epics. What are the key ingredients that make them connect so deeply with people all over the planet?
Well, it really starts with this incredibly deep, rich foundation of mythology. These stories are woven together from Taoist ideas about balance, yin and yang, and Buddhist concepts like karma and reincarnation. This gives the whole thing a philosophical weight that you just don't often find in Western fantasy.
And here's the brilliant part. They use all that deep philosophy to tell stories about universal hero types. The legendary Monkey King, Sun Wukong, is the perfect example. His story is all about rebellion, about fighting against your destiny. And that's a hero's journey that anyone from any culture can immediately get behind.
This also gives us a totally different kind of hero, one that feels incredibly fresh right now. Your typical Western hero often stumbles into their destiny and grows by overcoming challenges, sometimes reluctantly. But the Xianxia hero, they have this almost terrifying force of will. They decide on a goal and they just conquer every single thing in their way to get there. It's a fantasy of pure agency, and maybe that's exactly what people are craving in a chaotic world.
So you've got these incredible stories, but how did they actually break out and conquer the world? It's a fascinating mix of business strategy, new tech, and some seriously passionate fans. It pretty much happened in a three-step knockout punch. First, Chinese streaming platforms pushed hard into neighboring countries. Second, the global big hitters like Netflix took notice and started buying up the hottest shows. And third, and you cannot overstate how important this is, the fans took over. Passionate fan groups started translating, making subtitles, creating wikis to explain the lore. They basically became the genre's global ambassadors, building a community from the ground up.
And you can literally see the results of that strategy right here. I mean, look at Southeast Asia. Xianxia isn't just another genre there, it's the dominant force, grabbing a massive 68% of the fantasy market. Why? Because of something called cultural proximity. The underlying philosophies just click.
But here's the flip side. That same cultural uniqueness can create some friction in the West. You've got unfamiliar concepts, streaming algorithms that aren't really pushing these shows, and, let's be honest, a pretty big budget gap compared to what Hollywood spends. All those things are real hurdles.
So where does this all go from here? Is this a momentary spike, or are we actually looking at the future of the fantasy genre itself?
Well, if you look at the production line, they're not slowing down, not at all.
The number of new shows is climbing every year. China's become a huge content exporter, and you're seeing more and more collaborations across Asia. This is no fad. This is a booming industry.
So you put it all together, the massive numbers, the passionate fans, the explosion in production. What does it all really mean for the stories we're all going to be watching tomorrow?
It means the game has changed, for good. The world's appetite for stories is officially bigger and broader than ever. People are hungry for new myths, new heroes, new ways of looking at the world. The era of one single Western-centric story dominating everything, that's over.
Which leaves us with one last big question. We've seen the power, we've seen the passion, we've seen the global reach. So you have to wonder, while the West has defined fantasy for the last 100 years or so, is the future of the genre now being written in the East?